One who saw himself as a talentless and failed artist in a family where art is tradition made one of the finest pieces of art the world has ever seen, the Bugatti automobile. Bugatti is one of the most popular brands among high-performance cars, and in fact, their cars were the fastest in the world. But the story of Bugatti was not full of sunshine and rainbows. It has its share of success and tragedies of equal magnitude. But how did the kid from Italy go on to create one of the biggest names ever in automobile history? Is it a combination of hard work and luck, or is there something more that we are missing out on? Stick with us till the very end to know the answers to all your questions. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Ettore Arco Isidoro Bugatti was born on the 15th of September 1881 in Milan, Italy, to parents Carlo Bugatti and Teresa Lorioli. His beginnings were not so humble, as his family was semi-wealthy. Art ran in his blood. His father was famous for his furniture and astonishing jewelry designs. His grandfather was a renowned architect and sculptor. His younger brother Rembrandt was a gifted sculptor. Ettore too tried his hand at being a sculptor, but he wasn't anywhere near as good as his brother. As Ettore once said, "There are two types of artists, those who are born artists. My brother was one of them. The other type, to which I belong, are those who try to create art but are not as gifted. One day they should wake up and realize that they ought to do something else. If they truly respect art, they stop and choose another path." And Ettore did choose a different path. This is why, despite studying sculpture at the Accademia de Belle Arti di Brera, he quit sculpting and followed engineering. At the age of 16, Ettore repaired a tricycle without any training. If a 16-year-old was able to understand the complex mechanisms by intuition, one could only imagine the wonders he could create with the power of... Ettore's father recognized his talent and realized that he had the potential to be something special. He persuaded Ettore to work as an apprentice at Prinetti and Stucchi. He was just 17 years old when he joined the factory. Soon Ettore had designed his own motor tricycle when he was taking part in a competition from Paris to Bordeaux. The tricycle was powered by engines made by de Dion. He named it Bugatti Type 1. Working in the factory exposed Ettore to several designs and mechanisms. His dad's intuition was correct. Ettore discovered his passion. At the age of 19, Ettore left the company in order to pursue his dreams. He wanted to build his own car. He paid attention to each and every detail and even supervised the creation of the parts of the car. His designs were way ahead of his time. A talent like this could not go unseen. Dietrich Company had offered him a contract, which his dad had to co-sign because he was considered a minor as per French law. He worked for his new company for a few years. He built a car for the Paris-Madrid race. The car had its driver's seat and the engine low in the chassis, which gave a better center of gravity and aerodynamics. Even though this was sound theoretically and was a concept that is followed even now, his car was not allowed to compete in the race. In 1906, Ettore decided to leave de Dietrich. In his time, the Dietrich Bugatti Automobiles sold 100 vehicles. Even though this was impressive, Dietrich was slowly winding down its car manufacturing business. In the following years, he teamed up with Emil Mathis and started a factory, but this partnership soon came to an end. Later, he signed a multi-year contract with a gasoline engine manufacturer called Deutz. Together, they created several designs and prototypes. Deutz appointed Ettore as director of fabrication. To cater to the needs of the company, Ettore created larger-scale heavy-duty engines, but he did not hinder his creativity and vision. He believed that a lightweight vehicle with an efficient engine has the potential to outperform cars with bigger engines. He would work on the larger volume engines during the day and on the lighter vehicles at night. In 1909, the Basement project became the first ever independent Bugatti, the Bugatti Type 10. The Type 10 was a 1.2-liter four-cylinder engine that weighed only 365 kilograms. The car was able to reach blazing speeds of 80 kilometers per hour. This may not seem much now, but it was very impressive at its time. Ettore had faith in himself and decided to go all out. He terminated his contract with Deutz. Using his savings and his severance pay, he established Automobiles e Bugatti. He also welcomed his son, Jean Bugatti, who was an important part of his life and the company in the same year. Bugatti saw the potential of racing competitions as platforms to showcase their cars. The Type 10 served as a prototype for the Type 13. The Type 13 was one of the most popular cars ever. The car went on to win second place in the 1911 French Grand Prix. He did not stop refinement and always saw room for improvement. When everything seemed to be happy, World War I happened. Ettore had to stop the production of his vehicles and move back to Milan. If that wasn't enough, a tragic event was to follow. The Antwerp Zoo was seized by the Germans and its animals slaughtered. Ettore's brother used to work as a sculptor by observing the animals in the Antwerp Zoo. Unable to sell his work and fallen into a pit of depression, Rembrandt took his own life. In the memory and honor of his late brother, Bugatti designed one of the best cars ever, the Bugatti Royale. It was longer than most cars and the most luxurious one that anyone at their time had set their eyes on. It was adorned with a bronze copy of Rembrandt's finest and famous work, The Rearing Elephant. In 1920, Bugatti had victories at the Le Mans. In the next year, the Type 13 won at Brescia and continued to do so for the next 3 years. The car seemed unstoppable. By 1925, the car had over 400 victories. Bugatti continued to rack up race wins as he constantly introduced newer and better designs. The Type 35, presented in 1924, went on to win races all the way up to the late 1930s. The Bugatti cars won the 24-hour Le Mans in 1937 and 1939. The Type 41, or the Bugatti Royal, which was designed with the memory of his brother, furthered Bugatti's prominence during the era. The highly luxurious vehicle was only sold to selective customers. As things seemed to get better, Ettore was stuck with another obstacle, the Great Depression. Bugatti nearly went bankrupt. To survive and avoid bankruptcy, Bugatti helped the French government design rail cars. He was to face even more obstacles as the workers at his plant started going on strikes and demanded higher wages. Bugatti's son Jean was much more than what any father could hope for. Just as talented as his father, Jean went on to design the famous Atlantic, Majestic Royale, and the Type 57, which won the 24-hour Le Mans in 1937 and 1939. Tragedy soon struck. Jean Bugatti was testing his vehicle on the road. Out of nowhere, a cyclist showed up. Jean swerved the car in order to avoid hitting the cyclist, but the car crashed into a tree and he met his death. Life only got worse for Ettore. Germany invaded Alsace, and this included Bugatti's plants. The Germans tried to force Bugatti into producing machinery for them, but Bugatti declined. In order to survive, Bugatti, who faced a lot of debt, sold his company at less than 50% value and fled with his family to Paris. In 1944, his wife Barbara had passed away. He gave whatever he had left in him in an attempt to get his company back. In 1947, Ettore suffered a stroke and contracted a serious lung disease. Even though he was able to recover his company, he only had 10 more days before he had to leave this world behind. The surviving members of his family did not have the capability nor the passion to move the company forward. The Bugatti name was dormant until 1987, when the Italian entrepreneur and car dealer Romano Artioli bought the rights and founded Bugatti Automobiles in Campo Galliano. The revival was unsuccessful and the company went bankrupt. In 1998, Volkswagen purchased the company for a sum of $50 million and moved the company back to Mulheim. In 2005, Bugatti was reminded of its former glory as it reached speeds that no car had ever traveled before. The stylish Veyron became the fastest production car, reaching the top speed of 254 miles per hour. In 2019, Bugatti broke the record of the fastest car again. This time, it's the Bugatti Chiron, which could now reach 305 miles per hour. Also in the same year, Rimac Group had purchased a controlling stake of Bugatti from Volkswagen. Bugatti continues to be a symbol of luxury and innovative designs. The legacy of Bugatti still lives on in the powerful roars and the blazing speeds of the Bugatti. Do you guys think Bugatti will go on to break the record of the fastest production car for a third time? Will the legacy of the pioneer Ettore continue to live on? Let us know what you feel in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other videos.